Welcome everyone, my name is Alina and thank you so much for joining us for this exclusive AMA interview with TomoChain and BitOrb. BitOrb is a cryptocurrency derivatives exchange company who will be releasing their very own native security token called the Orbit. Now they have partnered with TomoChain, one of the biggest and most innovative blockchain companies in Vietnam, I would say the world, and they're issuing the Orbit tokens with the TomoZ protocol. Now, without further ado, I would love to introduce you to both the guest of today, Dr. Long Vuong, who is the CEO of TomoChain, and Hoong-Teng Lim, who is the CEO of BitOrb. Hi, guys. Would you like to just introduce yourselves, who you are, and what you do?
I will start first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So my name is Long Vuong. I am a founder and CEO of TomoChain. We have been building TomoChain since 2017, and the mainnet have been live and running since December 2018. So it has been live and stable for 1 year.
Okay, thank you so much. What about you, Hoong-Teng?
Hi, my name is Hoong-Teng and I'm the CEO of BitOrb. We've been developing our platform since July 2018, and we're just weeks away from actually going live. And we're very excited to be working with TomoChain.
Oh, that's really great to hear. Thank you both so much. Now, can you also help to explain to me and also our viewers, how did you both get into blockchain and crypto? So maybe perhaps Dr. Long? Yeah, so sorry.
So I got into cryptocurrency, firstly Bitcoin in 2013, right? So at that time I did my PhD graduate study in United States, and when I got in, right, so Bitcoin had the run up to more than 1,000 in 2014, and then it came down. But I got hooked from that point. So after finishing my study, I came back to Hanoi, Vietnam. I worked on some startup, and we focused on building TomoChain in 2017. One of the reasons is we try to solve the scalability issue with a smart contract platform like Ethereum. And we have been at it since then.
Wow, that's really amazing. Thank you. What about you, Hoong-Teng?
I started out as an engineer back in the early 2000s, and I spent a lot of time working on turbojet engines and designing stuff. And I've really been a tech guy. And I started my own businesses as well. And then in 2016, I first heard about Bitcoin when I was doing online arbitrage and online trading. And I started getting fascinated with the idea of mining machines and all that. And so that's how I got into Bitcoin first. And then in 2017, started trading altcoins. And then in 2018, started trading in derivatives and found that that's probably the most efficient way to get even more Bitcoin if you know what you're doing. And that's how I got into building an exchange with my fellow co-founders.
Oh, it sounds really interesting and very amazing for the both of you. Have had such incredible journey till this point. And now, how did you both actually get to know each other? When did you eventually meet as well?
Well, probably I should start on that one because when I first got to know about TomoChain was actually during the ICO period in 2018. And I got a bag of Tomo, obviously. I got involved with Tomo chat and Telegram as well. And then I got to get to know a bunch of guys, good bunch of fellas who also trade and invest in Tomo. And then we decided to have an AMA with Dr. Vuong, and I joined in for that. At that time, Dr. Vuong still hadn't known me yet. I mean, who am I, right? Just a guy with a bag of Tomo. And, first impressions are important. I got to see how he was answering the questions. You could see the sincerity. And that's why we love these live video AMAs, because that's how you can really tell how committed people are behind their projects. And then after that, I decided to, propose to my team and say, you know what, guys, let's look at issuing our tokens on the TomoChain blockchain. And so that's when we organized a meeting and I met Dr. Vuong for the first time face to face in Singapore.
Ah, okay. What did you think of Hoong-Teng when you first met him, Dr. Long? Don't worry, you can be
I think
honest. You can take it.
Hong-Teng is definitely like a very savvy entrepreneur. That's what I think, right? And actually, I want to thank Hong-Teng for his support for TomoChain. Uh, I knew him from the TomoChain community, and uh, he had been involved with the community, and we have the discussion over the Telegram. I think I think 1 year and a half ago, right? And plan to do something, working something together. And then later on, he decided to work on BitOrb, and we met in Singapore. And I think that's a great idea. And uh, even more so, that's he tried to use TomoChain, and that's something really wonderful. And we love that kind of collaboration.
That's great. That's great to hear. Now you mentioned about the partnership. Before we dive further into about it, can Hong-Teng explain more about what's the uniqueness about the Orbit token that you're partnering with TomoChain on this?
Well, the Orbit token has really three great benefits for people who actually hold a bag of it. And these three benefits come in on the loyalty aspect. So for fans and supporters of BitOrb, the exchange, through the Orbit token, they're able to get part of the affiliate program where they can basically earn commissions and rewards as a result of sharing their links. The other aspect is and this is what makes us really unique in the industry space, is that token holders of Orbit tokens can actually get 20% profit sharing of the revenue from the Bit exchange. And this is paid out in Bitcoin. So holding our Orbit tokens enables holders to get Bitcoin when we actually declare our profits. And finally, traders will love this about Orbit tokens, is that the more tokens they have, the more discounts they get on our exchange as well.
Okay, that's really great. There's so many benefits that you can see on, BitOrb's website that you can check out there. Now, for you, Dr. Long, why did you've probably seen so many projects out there in the crypto space. What do you think makes Orbit token so unique in your perspective?
I think earning Bitcoin is something special,
Yeah.
and obviously there's many digital currency in the marketplace right now. But Bitcoin is still a special, hold a special place because it's the first one, and everything coming back to Bitcoin, and everyone thinks it's a digital gold. And I think that's really a smart decision. That's the team decide to reward user with Bitcoin, and maybe some promo in the future as well. uh, at the day, I think you get discount to hold bit off and use the exchange. I think that's very smart model, right? And that definitely something of value. And if you are active in trading, should definitely look at it and try out the exchange as well.
Okay. Now, Hong-Teng, why did you choose TomoChain out of the many other blockchain providers out there in the world?
This is a good story. When we thought of issuing our tokens, we were looking at it from a security token point of view, and of course, the Ethereum chain was something that we needed to look at because there were a couple of platforms, well, more than a couple of platforms out there, stretching from the west all the way to the east, that offered the opportunity for people to issue tokens through those platforms, in particular security tokens. So we went on a trip to the US and we checked out these platforms. And the issues that I found was that even then, and even till now, there still isn't really a very good security token protocol that you can actually use worldwide, right? So everybody is pushing the boundaries there. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I was looking for blockchain support. If we were going to actually issue our tokens, we are a blockchain related company, but we're not a blockchain company. We are not developing a new blockchain and all that. So we needed a good partner for that. And when we, through the experience of 2018, we were looking at TomoChain. What I liked about it was that they were looking, at the decentralized aspect. They wanted people to, they're promoting their blockchain. And when I voiced this security token aspect to Dr. Vuong, his interest was genuine. He was looking at the possibilities in future as well to actually cater for security tokens down the line in his roadmap. Now, the other reason why I chose these TRC21 is because this was the first time a protocol allowed you to actually have Orbit tokens issued on this blockchain. And then when you actually want to transfer between wallets, you don't have to buy another token. So in our case, we wanted our investors and our traders on our exchange to be able to focus on the Orbit token and not having to have to buy Ethereum as gas to transfer between one wallet and another. With the TRC21, that enabled us to have our token do that and not confuse the token holders. They would just have a little bit of gas taken out of the Orbit tokens, and it's just simpler. I buy my Orbit tokens, I transfer my tokens, I trade my tokens, and I just deal with Orbit.
Thank you so much, Hoong-Teng, for that. And now for you, Dr. Long, the last time we spoke, well, with BitOrb, you noted on how the partnership aligns with the launch of TomoZ. Now, could you tell us more about the plans for TomoZ?
I think I should tell a little bit more about TomoZ. And so there's 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 a project that's issue token on Ethereum, and uh, there's a company beside behind the token that allow the user to send the token without fee, because the company is that issue token capitalize sponsor on the fee, but it's a little bit more centralized approach. That's MakerDAO and DAI is doing right now. The special thing about TomoZ is the protocol is supported by 150 masternode, which is the infrastructure layer. So you have a decentralized protocol level support for TomoZ. That's why it's more decentralized in a way. And the reason we can do that because TomoChain is a new protocol, and we have a direction that try to make it easy to use, more user friendly. And I think bit of example would be really kept like a shining use case for TomoZ, and I hope that's I can bring bit of token to the other user and pointing to the exchange, right, and see, okay, this is how you can use TomoChain and TomoZ.
That's very good. Now, and now, aside from the Orbit token, generally, what is your outlook on the security tokens? And does TomoChain plan to have a separate protocol for security tokens in the future?
We haven't actually defined the requirement for that. The reason is security token involve a lot of legal understanding, right? So because most of jurisdiction have very clear requirement for security, which is different from, like, for example, a protocol token or utility token. So we still need to see what kind of requirement we need to build, what kind of thing we need to build to satisfy that requirement. Because the requirement from Singapore is different from requirement in the United States, for example, right? Yeah. So it's still a work in progress, I would say.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep in touch with all your social media posts and see what's more to come. Aside from that, Hoong-Teng, what kind of projects do you foresee to work with TomoChain in 2020, and perhaps other projects that you see with BitOrb as a whole?
Well, one of the things that we did start a conversation with TomoChain already was the development of the mobile wallets for the Orbit token. And we're looking at that for next year. We'll continue the conversation after we've actually launched our mainnet and we're running our exchange. Other aspects is, like Dr. Vuong mentioned just now, the security token. It does have many legal requirements across many different jurisdictions, and as a blockchain developer, they don't have the time or resource to look at all these different jurisdictions. However, BitOrb, we have spent quite a bit of time dealing with legal entities all over the world, and we'll probably be able to come up with some sort of consensus document that we'll be able to start with. Maybe it's something that's an initiative that we can do together, on a voluntarily basis with people around the world, community, and all that. At the end of the day, I don't think the security tokens that the legal entities, that means we're talking about the securities commissions around the world, the current protocols won't be able to suit everybody around the world. But what we can do in blockchain is to try and bring this understanding of what a security token is in our perspective. That means some sort of underwriting security to a particular asset is linked to this token. In our case, it's profit share. In other cases, it's real estate and things like that. I think jurisdictions and governments and regulatory boards still need to start to adapt to the industry, just like how the industry now is trying to adapt to them. It's gonna be a throughout
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good thing that you mentioned about, the collaborations that we have to start looking forward with the bigger players, the jurisdiction, the institutional partners. And now for you, Dr. Long, how do you see the landscape actually is like for cryptocurrency and blockchain industries in Vietnam compared to the rest of Southeast Asia? And would you consider that Vietnam to be more pro-crypto and blockchain?
I I think Vietnam is one of the biggest retail markets in the world, crypto retail markets. So I think the traffic from Vietnam to big exchange in the world like Binance, BitMEX is in top five. So it's just behind United States, China, and maybe Turkey, right? I am on the ground, and I actually saw the interest from many people who you know who are just regular normal people who are interested in technology, interested in investing in a new thing. So I think there's a lot of potential in Vietnam. Uh, Definitely more than in some other country. I think Indonesia is also have really big markets, and they're interested in Thailand as well. Uh, yeah, I think that's kind of like the general outlook I see.
One question I want to ask first is generally, Dr. Long, what is your, opinion about the BitOrb project? You've been seeing, the BitOrb project since the very beginning in its early stages till now. What is your opinion and where do you see us growing as a company?
You mean TomoChain or other projects?
Just overall, the BitOrb project, the BitOrb company, how you've met Hoong-Teng during the early stages of BitOrb, and to be able to see it grow till the end of the year, and looking that we're entering 2020 along with all the companies out there in the world as well. How do you see the company going, and where do you see it grow as well?
I think Hoong-Teng is very impressive, right? And what he has been building in the last 9 months is really impressive. And I think the project is launching soon, like in December, January. And I haven't tried. I tried the exchange itself, but I'm eager to do it. And there are still big markets in Asia for derivative exchange, and hopefully, the team, right? Obviously, the team and the leadership can capture the wave of interest, and going forward in 2020, 2021, that's where the new wave of interest coming in, and I hope that we all benefit from the new wave in the next few years.
What is your outlook on the derivatives exchange industry and the space, because we've noticed that TomoChain has also made the extra steps to enter the space, and we just want to see where do you see TomoChain part growing part with this industry and just generally as a whole.
So I think this industry is moving very fast, right? So Binance was launched in June 2017, and it quickly became number one exchange in the world, number one spot exchange in the world. And BitMEX was also launched in 2016, 2017, and become the number one derivative exchange now. But I think there's a lot of room to grow, right? So I think there's a room to grow for newcomer, and I think BitOrb can come in and occupy a space into that. And for TomoChain, right? We hope that we can be listed in more exchanges, and I think exchange have special place, special position in the industry, which is quite important, right? Not just spot exchange, but derivative exchange. And I think the right thing to do is to support good decentralized projects to grow the industry together.
It's really great to hear. It's definitely true that we all have to work together and collaborate together, to really succeed together in this big space.
So I'd like to add to that as well. I mean, one of the key things about the BitOrb exchange is that it's actually a proper hedging tool as well. Our new digital assets offerings, when we add more products as we go live into next year, into 2020, the futures contracts are based on the actual digital assets, and therefore people are able to hedge against the fluctuation of prices according to their technical analysis. And so if, say, for example, in future we were to list the Tomo tokens on our BitOrb exchange platform, people will be able to buy Tomo tokens on the secondary market and actually deposit them on our exchange and then hedge against the price fluctuations as well. So these are one of the options that Tomo token holders can actually take advantage of on our exchange. There's another thing I'd like to add, which at that time when we first talked to Dr. Vuong about TRC21, I think we were the first one to actually, onboard ourselves as a token on the TRC21 protocol. However, it's been a while since TomoZ has opened up. I'm curious to know whether Dr. Vuong has TomoChain got other tokens on TomoZ that's already live in the industry, in the sector?
So there is another spot exchange from Mongolian called AES. That's cater to Japanese audience. They also doing a TRC21 token. For more traditional projects, there is a Cheap My project, which is doing a marketplace for travel, hotel, and experience. They also issuing token on TomoChain. They are in the process of kind of like transforming TRC20 to TRC21 right now.
Nice, nice. I'm very glad to hear that, Dr. Vuong, because moving forward, I think BitOrb would love to extend its support to TomoChain as well, amongst all the other industries segments that actually have come on board to use TRC21. Just like BitOrb, we'd love to propagate the use of TRC21 through our Orbit tokens and promote TomoChain to the rest of the world as well.
I think we may think of doing some collaboration, creating kind of like USD stablecoin on TRC21 as well. That could be interesting.
Before we end it here, I'm just going to ask this question. If you agree with either one statement, just put your hands up, okay? So who here thinks that next year, 2020, will be a very bullish year? Put your hands up. Oh, okay. That's very interesting. Who thinks it's going to be a very bearish year?
No, I mean, it will be bullish, I think. Yeah.
It will be bullish. Okay, that's great to hear. It's great. Great to hear. Okay, well, that's all that we have for today. I want to thank Dr. Long Vuong and Hoong-Teng Lim for their time and answering all our questions. I would like to thank also all the viewers who are watching this right now, to spending time with us. And if you have any comments or questions, you can share them right below in our comments, in this comment section. Now, before we go, please give a huge support to TomoChain and BitOrb by following their social channels, which you can find in our caption below. Now, thank you again, everyone, and hope you both have a great day and talk to you very soon.
Thank you for having me.